Welcome. My name is Elizabeth Carey Smith. I'm the Vice President of the Type Directors Club, and I'd like to welcome you all here tonight celebrating the 65th Annual Exhibition and the presentation of TDC's prestigious Medal of Excellence. I just have a few announcements before I introduce you to our hosts for the evening. We want to acknowledge our evening sponsors, the Cooper Union, for again offering this fantastic space. We want to thank New York's best-kept secret, the Herb Lubalin Study Center, Monotype, which has been a driving force for the TDC's Beatrice Warde Scholarship, as well as helping to sponsor tonight's festivities, and Fordham University, which hosted our competition judging this year, and A2A Solutions, who provide so much support for the club's exhibitions program. I also want to acknowledge the fantastic TDC Board of Directors over the past year, 2018 to 2019, and the year to come, 2019 to 2020. Each year, this small group of people, a handful of loyal volunteers and type lovers, and our wonderful executive director, Carol Waller, put on all of the events, run all the competitions, and coordinate the exhibition, which travels to 20 different countries and 50 different cities. We invite you to post photos or tweets about our speakers and the work in the exhibition. Use hashtag TDC65 and tag us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show will run through Friday, August 9th. And now I'd like to welcome to the stage the TDC65 chair of the Typeface Design Competition, senior designer at Frere Jones Type, Nina Stossinger, and chair of TDC 65 Communication Design Competition, co-founder of the original Champions of Design, Bobby C. Martin Jr.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Welcome, beautiful people, to this year's celebration of the World's Best Typography 2019. Bobby?
All right. Well, we have a lot of goodness to share with you tonight. And the exhibition next door, some of you have checked it out already, you know it only makes you want to be a better designer. So you'll have to check it out after this lecture. So I want to acknowledge the team that worked on the competition. So if you're here with us tonight, I'm sure you've seen this, and you may have seen it in your social feeds and all these different places, but we worked with the international design company, a creative agency, they call themselves BON. So it was led by Hugh Miller and Tai Lu, and this group of really talented designers created every single social post that you kept seeing in your feed day after day after day. They created the website, designed the website, and art directed the photography that you'll be seeing throughout this presentation today. And now they're putting the finishing touches on the annual, and it's going to be gorgeous. And to truly celebrate type throughout this year's call for entries, BON had this really ambitious idea. They decided to work with a collection of premier type designers all over the world. So we can't thank those foundries and those designers enough for generously donating their fonts for this year's competition and in the annual that you'll be getting after this, not tonight, but you'll be getting it when it's ready, very soon. Okay. Now, for years, you may not have known this, but there's all these people behind the scenes making things happen. So when you get it out in your hands, you get the annual in your hands, all these people have worked together to make that happen. And so we want to recognize our photographer, Catalina Koltsar Marin. So this year, she really outdid herself. You'll see that she was able to give these incredible peeks into the design and the judging process and the communication design and the typeface design. And the portraits are amazing. She was truly brilliant in capturing the rich personalities and the different diversity of the different judges. And speaking of judges, every year we assemble a panel of the very best. They're our heroes, and they come from all areas of design from all across the world. This year, there's 7 communication design judges, and they all buried themselves in a pile of entries. We had almost 2,000 entries that they had to go through over one weekend. And during that time, they review everything, they debate, and then they get around a table and they discuss. And they're armed with simply a TDC apron and a pocket full of tokens. And with that armor, they selected 254 entries to represent the very best typography in the world, all of which are hanging right next door. Nina?
Yeah, so while the communication design judges get to look at all these, this incredible amount of entries from different media and motion and books and posters and identities and all these different things, the typeface design judges get to look at typefaces. We had almost 300 of them. And the typeface design judging takes place actually just on one day. It was one long day in the middle of winter. We had 4 brilliant typeface design judges who I will present in a minute. They and I were supported by a couple of wonderful helpers. It was Gary Munch, who you can see here in the background, and Chris Andreola, who did a vital job sorting the entries into different categories and bringing them out in batches for the judges to evaluate. We had interesting conversations about the type itself and also the way it was shown. You can imagine that evaluating 300 typefaces in one day is no easy feat, but it was actually also a lot of fun. The judges cast their votes and actually also got into fascinating and sometimes tough discussions. The judges made a great team, and though they did not immediately agree on everything, my goal was for the jury to find decisions that each judge could firmly stand behind, and I believe that we really got there on that winter day. The competition, of course, also presents an important opportunity to think about and discuss questions of quality and achievement in our discipline. What do we really mean when we talk about excellence in type design? Rather than giving the judges like a rigid set of criteria, I propose that they consider the following questions when evaluating the work. Is it interesting? Is it well considered? And is it convincing? And if the answer to all of those questions is yes, then would you call it excellent? Because that is what we are awarding, excellence in type. Boom. I did not know we had sound effects, so I'm still getting used to this. It was, of course, a fantastic, fantastic honor to chair the TDC Typeface Design Competition in this, its 22nd year. I mean, it's honestly like some kind of weird dream. I mean, I have entered into this competition before. I was always like, back when I was living across the ocean, I was always like thinking the TDC competition, you know, and now like standing here and being able to present the results is amazing. I would like to thank the helpers. Of course, everybody tonight is going to thank Carol, who just has her system of running this competition down. And it's a pretty incredible system, the way she's set it up, because there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of entries, and a lot of people. I would also like to thank the TDC's, there's going to be more slides, but I'd also like to thank the TDC's non-Latin advisory board. Also, you know, from the category of people that are in the background and that we don't usually see much from, but their expert advice and input on submissions of typefaces across languages and writing systems is absolutely crucial. But most of all, it was the judges, of course, who made this an incredibly high quality, demanding, and rewarding selection process. And we got the first Dark Wave single coming out later this year. I don't know, nobody listened to me sing, but the typeface design jury that I was fortunate to assemble brought together 4 smart and seasoned professionals that I highly look up to, and between them shared decades of experience in a wide variety of scripts and practices. Rather than giving you the official bios, I mean, you can look those up, but I want to just tell you a couple of sentences about why I wanted each of these judges on board. Nicole Doughton is a type designer and partner at Process Type Foundry in Minneapolis. She's somebody that I was aware of and looked up to ever since I've been in type design, but we had never actually met, and I was increasingly curious about who this person is who makes this beautiful work and thinks intensely about process as well, and it was wonderful to have her experience and judgment on the team. Tobias Frere-Jones, shown here as the Statue of Liberty. By contrast, I see this guy every day as I'm lucky enough to work with him. I know Tobias as a colleague and an employer, a teacher and a mentor, and of course his eye is incredible, he sees everything, but I know that he is as gracious as he is knowledgeable, and so it was, of course, an absolute honor and also a great joy to have him on the team. Christian Sarkis is a colleague and a friend who I got to know when I lived in the Netherlands. Christian is a lively thinker and teacher and a tireless designer and innovator. He specializes in Arabic type and lettering, and he has co-founded not only a foundry, Typography Arabic, but also a one-of-a-kind Arabic type design summer school. He was also our type design speaker at the Judges' Night, and if you saw that, you know that he has a lot of interesting thoughts about the discipline that he's in. Erin McLaughlin is smart and fun and creative and innovative and always up for new projects and new ideas. She specializes primarily in index scripts and is incredibly knowledgeable in that field on top of plenty of experience with Latin type design. I trust her eye and her way of thinking, and I was so happy to have her on board. We had a very high number of submissions this year. It was, when I took this on, it was like the common wisdom was the type design judging happens in one day, and we made it, but we kind of just made it. We were all late to dinner. Because we got almost 300 submissions from 33 countries around the world. And this year, 1 in 6 entries was from a student. That was a change we made this year, thinking that the competition of the type design field has been changing. Today, student type design has really established itself as an integral part of this field. And I'm very happy that for the first time this year, the typeface design competition has a dedicated student competition integrated in it. And so 1 in 6 entries was a student. But I noticed that 1 in like 4.5 winners is a student. So it looks like students are doing pretty well in this. We selected 22 winners, 17 professionals, 5 student projects, excuse me, too many consonants in there. But, and of course, I will be super excited for you to see all of the winners in the gallery next door after this. What I'd like to highlight here now are our special winners. First of all, the judges' choices. Each judge gets to pick one project as their special highlight of the competition. So let's see what they chose. Nicole Doughton selected Pig by Erica Karos. This is a student project from Type Cooper. And as Nicole writes, this is from her statement. Pig is an accomplished piece of design. It manages to be quirky, energetic, and full of character without sacrificing the harmony that must be maintained for a well-functioning typeface. Step back and you'll see a designer developing her voice, choosing an uncommon path. Congratulations to Erica. Tobias Frere-Jones actually also chose a student project as his pick. Crochet by Yolu is a revival project that was done at Type Cooper Extended. It's a revival of a French typeface from the late 19th century, which is called Louis XV from the Fonderie Turlot. Tobias writes, Crochet shows a sophisticated sense of how to work with historical precedent, what to keep and what to leave behind. When revivals keep their focus on the big picture, they can improve on the original and still be accurate. Crochet is a promising and successful example of that approach. Congratulations, you. Christian Sarkis selected Orientation, designed by Sandrine Nuc and published by Commercial Type. Christian had a lot of excited words about this typeface and said, its level of abstraction is the result of a deep understanding of the core elements of the letterforms and a decidedly novel approach to stenciling. The smart, and in many occasions unusual choices, make Orientation read very smoothly while boasting a dramatic 3D-like texture of light and shadows. Congratulations to Sandrine. Whoops. And Erin McLaughlin chose Ribasu by Jimin Liao, who was also, by the way, selected as an Ascender in last year's Ascenders competition. As Erin writes, this project drew me in like a magnet. It's not often that you get to see a boisterous reverse contrast typeface elegantly executed in 4 writing systems. The designer's deep understanding and respect of the structure of the letter forms and the infusion of just the right recipe of detail and quirkiness have resulted in a masterfully executed work that type designers can look up to. Congratulations. And now this is a first and a tremendous honor because we have a dedicated student competition now. We also get to give out prizes, just like in the communication design. This year, we've just awarded 1 student award, first place, which is a $1,000 cash prize and a lot of honor for 1 spectacular student project. And let me tell you, this was really one of the moments where a jury was immediately and strongly in agreement. It took them like 2 minutes to decide that this is our winner. Check Lap Sands by Tse Yan Kwong. It's just, this is a student project from Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and it's just executed on an incredible level of craft and detail. It's a wayfinding typeface for airports, and its level of accomplishment is just mind-blowing. Huge congratulations. I don't think the winner is with us all the way from Hong Kong, but will receive the prize remotely. Congratulations again. I was going to say something, and then I remembered we have the sound. So yes, I do have 2 more things. Sorry, Bobby. I hope you will join us after, of course, to see all the fantastic winners in the gallery next door. You can also see the winners, the winning projects on our website, tdc.org, along with the typeface design winners from the past 10 years. This just went up thanks to a great initiative by TDC board member Joe Newton. Thanks, Joe. Congratulations again to all the winners, and now I'm happy to hand over to the best co-chair in the history of co-chairs, Bobby Martin.
Thank you, Nina. So I had an incredible opportunity and challenge as the chair of the communication design competition because it's my final year as a TDC board member, and I took this role really seriously, as you can see. I began by selecting the communication design judges, and I really enjoyed this part because my duty as chair, I was able to work with the best. And so we had the opportunity to bring in people that I admire and look up to. And now, after hanging out for a full weekend, we're best friends. It was actually pretty tough getting all these designers of this caliber all in one place at one time. They're busy schedules and a lot of back and forth over email, but I was thrilled that they were able to join. And some of them are even here tonight. So, Karen Fong, fresh off of winning an AIGA medal, founding member of Imaginary Forces, Karen Fong. She brought her experience, many years of experience of type in motion to the panel. Liao, if you know Liao Zhang, he's the creative director of California Sunday magazine. They've just won Best Magazine of the Year by the Society of Publication Design 2 years in a row. We had him as a judge. I had the pleasure of working with this fashionable guy. So often I've gotten a chance to actually collaborate with Eddie Opara. This brilliant pentagram partner is always kind of approaching projects with a lot of intellect. I'm always really amazed by his vast knowledge of both design and technology, and I think he looks pretty great in those glasses. Originally from Mexico City, Paulina Reyes has also lived in Minneapolis and now calls New York City home, and she's one of the most versatile designers in the business. She seamlessly blurs illustration, graphic design, art direction, and typography. Having her on the panel was superb. And I have to say, if you look up the word boss in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Ian Spalter right next to it. He's the head of design of the world's most popular social media platform. Some of you are doing it right now, Instagram. And it was just fascinating to pick his brain. I actually asked him a lot of questions like, why are my pictures so blurry on Instagram? But it was in actuality being able to talk to him about UX and UI and just getting his approach to design and seeing even his judge's pick, which I'll share in a second, which was a book. Now, Switzerland's Annick Troxler, she's a member of the royal family of poster design. So if you don't know the Troxlers, look them up. Annick has built on an incredible legacy that her father, Nicholas Troxler, has built, and establishing a legacy now with her own narrative and her own inventive use of typography and poster design. And finally, my man, Zepong. As you know, Zepong is bold and fearless and just a brilliant designer with unlimited energy. And he dared us to be better and think bigger. Zepong also helped translate a lot of the East Asian entries for most of the judges. So these judges pour through almost 2,000 entries from 60 countries to bring you just 254 examples because they consider that to be the very best use of typography in the world. So let's get down to who the judges picked as their favorites. Now, the criteria for selection, not just for the judges' choices, but for all of their selections that made it in that 254, the criteria is really simple. To be considered the world's best typography, and Carol Waller always wants me to make sure that people know that TDC has trademarked that. To be considered one of the world's best typography submissions, you had to feature type and typography in ways that really raised the bar and really pushed the industry forward. So starting with the first judge's pick, Karen Fong. For her judge's pick, she picked this here, the next point of view. And it was concepted and designed. Oops. I meant to put that on mute before I did that. It was concepted and designed by David Galler Design in conjunction with Practica. Now, just really quickly, maybe I can go back and do that one more time so I can. So Karen says she chose this project because it points to a way in which we can start thinking of type systems that relate to new technology, as you can see here with Type in VR. All right. Liao chose the remarkable Bacteria Museum. It was designed by a student, Sunny Lee, and Liao wrote about it. He said, unrefined and barely legible, and as TLC would say, damn unpretty. This piece seems to be the antithesis of beauty in craft and typography. but it's for all of those reasons that this solution works so effectively. And the teacher was Natasha Jin, so now it all makes sense. Eddie Opara chose Pixel Patch and Pattern, designed by Rudiger Schlomer. And what Eddie says about this, he said, "Behold the incredible surprises that greet you when you open the book. You are taken into an alternative culture of typography that is knitted. The different stitching techniques are endless and transformative." Paulina Reyes selected this incredible piece by Blocco Grafico. And what Paulina says is, "The bold compositions show an effortless play between type and illustration, executed in a wonderful color palette that recalls the fearless color sensibility of Latin America." Ian Spalter selected as his judge's choice La Belle La Bête, designed by Mike and Jeanette Abink of Rational Beauty. And Ian says, "The typography is both elegant and voluptuous. It works as a dignified narrator with a point of view, pushing the overall work away from a mere visual catalog or feed." Anik Troxler, of course, chose a poster. This poster by BVH, and she says, "The three beautifully designed letter forms are rounded and sensually fluid, filling the entire poster's surface. It's not just the powerful presence of the image that attracts me, but also the elegance of a single color blue." An Zapong chose for his choice State, another student project by Potch. The reverse contrast in anger especially stood out to me. Its unusual proportions and inverted weight distribution caught my eye, and I can't get it out of my head. Did I sound like Zapong there? All right. So as in typeface design, we have some monetary prizes for the student entries. And the communication design has been doing student entries and prizes for quite some time. So we actually have three, third, second, and first. We're going to count them down in that order. So we'll start with the third place winner. Carol Waller's going to join me because we have moolah to hand out. So if you're in the crowd, definitely come up. If not, I'm sure we can find something to do with it. Carlo Fuertes Francisco. I've been seeing this piece make the rounds. Everybody in the whole world thinks it's incredible, and it's something he did as a student. So I don't know if Carlos is here with us tonight, so we'll figure out what to do with that check, and maybe we'll just put it in the mail. Second place prize goes to this designer from the National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. There's three designers that created this. And it's actually unnamed, but they're these small, beautifully printed, almost like risograph printed calendars, which is absolutely incredible. And they get $500 for second place. The suspense, I'll let it build for a second. $1,000 prize. First place goes to an SVAer. The first place goes to Sunny Lee for identity design for the Bacteria Museum. Sunny, is that you? All right. Congratulations. A Judge's Choice by Liao Zheng is no easy feat, so congratulations on that, and best of show. So looking forward to seeing what you do next. Now, we have the student winners. We talked about the Judge's Choices, but in communication design, we have one other award, which is the Best in Show. So out of all of those 2,000 entries, the judges happened to agree on one work that stood out amongst the rest. And this year's Best of Show goes to, and I'd like, if these people who designed this are in the house, come on up. So this year's Best of Show goes to Blocco Grafico for Alpacino Steak.
Let's just show it. This idea actually was Graham Clifford, who's past president of the club, and he also designed it as well. So it has that nice big T for typography.
Great work. I mean, the judges were really, really obsessed with this piece. In fact, I feel like some of them may have reached out afterwards to try to get some for their own collection. It was awesome. So congratulations, well-deserved. Congratulations to all the winners of this year's competition. And it was an intense one. Seeing everyone debate and everyone really try to figure out what deserved the best in show and what should actually make it into the book was fascinating. So those of you out here, start collecting your work now, because next year's competition opens in just over a month. So I have a few quick thanks to give out, because as I mentioned, this is something that's done. It takes a village to put on a competition. So I want to always thank our fearless director, Carol Waller, for her endless dedication to the club. My friend Susan B. back there, she's the social media director for TDC. Thank you, Susan. All of those social posts and all of the work on the website when you're learning about the different events and learning about the competition, that's Susan doing that work. I want to give a shout out to Chris Andriola and Kevin Newman. They're the developers, so they developed the website, but they also, as Nina mentioned, they work behind the scenes during the competition also. So we couldn't have actually done this competition or got the word out without them. The photography, now you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The photography was excellent. So Catalina Coltsar-Marin, she's been the TDC's competition photographer for quite some time, and I think she really outdid herself this year. Thank you, Catalina. There's a gang of volunteers that help make the judging happen. We have to take everything down and put everything up and take everything down and put everything up, and it's so well coordinated, really, because Carol really helps everything move really smoothly, but the volunteers, and some of them are past board members and others, help to make that happen, so thank you. And last but not least, my TDC partner in design, Nina Stossinger. She helped make this a record-setting year at TDC, so thank you, Nina. Now, I'm letting this image really soak in your brains for a little bit, because this is the cover of the next annual. So all of this work that you see next door and more of us talking and running our mouths will be in this annual that Bond had just sent to print quite recently. So I still want to give a shout out to my man Hugh Miller, who was the brains behind the competition identity and the design of the annual. These guys are out of London. I had met them quite some time ago, and if you don't know who they are, check them out. So Hugh Miller and Ty Liu of the Bond Creative Agency, they have offices all over the world, really, but we were working directly with them in London. And the best part about working with the crew in London when you're in New York is you wake up in the morning and all your files are ready. So we're really indebted to them and that wonderful team for creating the identity, working on the annual, even helping to create the animations for this presentation here tonight. They've been fantastic collaborators, and they've made this campaign really exceptional. Okay. Now, I need to make sure the sound's back up. So that was competition. Now I'm changing hats for a second. I'm putting on a different hat because as a TDC board member, we all head up different groups, different committees, and have different tasks. And one of mine was to be the chair of the scholarship committee. So now we have a handful of student scholarships to give out. And let's see, there are $1,000 scholarships plus a one-year TDC membership. So you get all the benefits of really low entry fees to events and a lot of emails with rich content, and you get to rub elbows with the likes of some of the people that you've seen on the screen today. So 7 schools are given scholarships, 7 colleges are given scholarships. 5 of them were in New York, and 1 was a US-based college, and 1 international. And each school selects a junior going into their senior year so they can actually use that money well. They need that money. All right, so what I'm going to do is I will go through the scholarship winners, and if those of you have won a scholarship, come on up and you get a certificate. So, let's see if there's anything else I need to see. All right, well, come on up when I call your name. We'll start with Valerie Franco from the Cooper Union. I'm not sure if Valerie's here. All right. We will keep that certificate safe. Now, this is my alma mater, so I'm really proud to announce Cody Hooper from Virginia Commonwealth. Han Sol Zheng, School, SBA.
I thought he was going to jump.
Zheng Liao from Nihon University College of Art. From Tokyo. I don't know if their flights got in yet, so we have to give that to them later. All right. And Sirui Liao from Pratt Institute. Okay, not here tonight? Okay, great. Jimin Park from Parsons School of Design. Okay. FIT Troy Vasilakis. Well, thank you very much for the support from the crowd for these bright young minds in design. Congratulations to the recipients of the TDC Scholarship. Now, everyone, please welcome back to the stage, or maybe to the stage for the first time, TDC Executive Director that we've been talking so much about tonight, Kara Waller.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little story, okay? Everybody who knows me knows I have a little story to tell. So it's all about how this came to be. So as I said, a lot of you know me, and I have classes that visit from around the world. And I'm always giving a background of the club and talk about the gentleman who started the club. And I'm always going on about the gentleman. And one day, one of our board members said, because his class was there, Carol, who's the first female member? And I honestly couldn't answer him. I said, I know who the first female president was, but not the first member. The very next day, honest to God, the very next day, another board member brought her class and asked the same question. I had to find out. And the only way I can do that is going through the minutes that I have. And this one set, luckily, is from 56 to 60. And I'm going through, and I go, oh my God, Beatrice Warde was the first female member of the Type Directors Club. Well, I got so excited. I called the chairman of the board at that time, and it was Graham again, Graham Clifford, my buddy. And I said, Graham, I told him, and he said, Carol, we need to have a scholarship in Beatrice's name for a female. I go, okay, I'm calling Monotype. What else would I do, right? So I called Monotype, and I said, told the story, and I said, we give $1,000 scholarships. She goes, well, we don't. I go, oh. She goes, no, we give $5,000 scholarships. I go, oh. So, therefore, we have the TDC Beatrice Warde Scholarship for a female, 3rd to 4th year. Okay, and I'm going to welcome to the stage now Deborah Gonet from Monotype, very good friend of ours, and she's going to tell you a little bit more.
Hi. Beatrice Warde was a champion for education. Many people in the early stages of their careers spent time working with her, learning the art and craft of typography. She focused on deepening people's understanding and appreciation for the art form. Beatrice was known as one of the most passionate type advocates the world has known, and her dedication and enthusiasm for typography during her 30-plus year career at Monotype is still widely admired. Her passion for education lives on in hundreds of articles, essays, books, and lectures that she gave on the topic. The Beatrice Warde Scholarship is awarded to a student whose work demonstrates exceptional talent, sophistication, and skill in the art of typography. The criteria for the scholarship extends across disciplines, including design criticism, type design, and graphic design. In recognition of Beatrice's spirit for education and commitment to excellence, Monotype is proud to partner with the TDC in this very special scholarship. So Carol had said earlier that this is the fifth year for the scholarship. Goes fast. And so these were the judges, all female. It's been all female from the beginning. So Gail Anderson, Shelley Grundler, Helena, Ratna, Fiona, and Mariko.
And this is the work of the student that's been selected. And Blossom, come on up. The certificate comes all the way from Delhi, India, created by Kriti Mango, and if I've messed that up, I do apologize. But it's very exciting, so thank you very much. And now I'm calling back Bobby, because as he said, he is the scholarship chair.
All right. Well, don't go too far, Carol and Deborah. So I'll be calling you back in a second. So a couple of years ago, I was presenting at TypeCon, and it was in Boston that year, and I asked a question. I said, where are all of the black type designers? And what was really fascinating about when I asked that question, that kind of question reverberated throughout the crowd, And the conversation kind of carried throughout the whole presentation hall, across social media, and all the way back to New York. And that's when, about a year ago, Type at Cooper professor, the brilliant Cara D'Eduardo, she then introduced me to Monotype. So today, I'm very happy and proud to announce a new scholarship for the TDC. We're introducing the Superscript Scholarship sponsored by Monotype. It's $5,000, and it recognizes students of color studying in type design at any college or university in the United States. So today, with the support of both Carol and Deb here, we're announcing this scholarship. We're super, super proud of it because I believe it may be the first of its kind, and we're doing something about the lack of type designers of color, and we're going to start in the schools with the support of Monotype, and we're very excited. So the entries will be open in December, and next year we'll have 2 big scholarship recipients, Beatrice Warde and Superscript. Now, our TDC VP will come back to the stage to bring it home.
Hi, again. I have the pleasure of telling you about the winners of our 2nd annual Ascenders competition, which is a portfolio-based competition that recognizes outstanding type-oriented work of designers who are under 35 years of age. So I will announce our winners, very exciting. Daniel Brokstad from Denmark. Vincent Chan from Australia. Fernanda Cozzi from Argentina. Sean Freeman from England. Ben Gradunet from the USA. Anthony Haas from New Zealand. Ben Johnston, Canada. Abraham Lule from Mexico. Loris Olivier from Switzerland. And Gregory Shutters from the USA. It's a pretty amazing competition because, as you can see, we've got winners from all over the world. So it's already become highly competitive. So I encourage you to encourage your students or yourselves to really enter. The opening exhibition of this year's winners will be August 13th at the TDC, and we welcome you to come celebrate those winners with us. And in next year, encourage your students to apply. Gives me great pleasure for this next part to award our most prestigious award, which is the TDC Medal of Excellence. And this year's winner is Wim Crouwel. He couldn't make it here, so we had a video made in Amsterdam, where he lives. Here it is.
Het begon allemaal in het midden van de 60 jaren. En ik zag wat het resultaat was van de eerste digitale letterzetmachines. De HAL Digizet. En toen dacht ik, in plaats van oude voorbeelden van letters te volgen. Dat je beter een lettertype kunt ontwerpen die veel geschikter voor die machine was. Dus ik heb meer naar de machine toe gedacht, in plaats van vanuit het alfabet te denken. Dat heeft er geresulteerd dat ik een lettertype ontworpen heb, wat helemaal de spelregels van de digitale typografie volgde. In 1967 heb ik dit boekje gepubliceerd, waarin die letter is toegepast. Het resultaat is dat het een onleesbare letter is geworden, maar die wel voldeed aan wat ik aan eisen stelde daarvoor. Gaan we ervan. En hier zie je dat in een paar gradaties. Gerard Unger was toen mijn assistent. En Gerard heeft een antwoord op dit boekje gemaakt. Waarin hij liet zien hoe je met klassieke typografie toch met die digitale technieken te lijf kon gaan. Dus ik heb mij meer aan de kant van de techniek gesteld en Gerard meer aan de kant van de lezer. Gerard is een echte letterontwerper geworden. Bij mij bleef het bij een experiment. Het eerste resultaat was dat ik van Olivetti een opdracht kreeg om een letter te maken voor een nieuwe digitale typemachine. Samen met 2 andere ontwerpers. Jozef Müller-Borgman en Herbert Lindinger. Met z'n drieën kregen we de opdracht van Olivetti om een lettertype te maken voor die specifieke elektrische machine. Toen die letters klaar waren, toen is de machine uit de productie genomen. Het is nooit in productie gekomen eigenlijk. Dat was begin 70 jaren. En toen ik die letter weer terugkreeg en niet gebruikt werd door Olivetti, heb ik hem gebruikt om in postzegels te maken. Zou je even het blad met postzegels moeten pakken?
Voor zijn afscheid toen hij met pensioen ging. Van Otje Oxenaar. This is how it started. With a 5.
Dat is de eerste toepassing van die letter geworden.
The 5 was actually the stamp which was used most as addition to all the prices. Every time when they changed the tariffs, they needed another stamp. They are exposed like this now in Den Bosch at the exhibition of Timurij.
Toen had die letter nog geen naam. Maar omdat ik voortdurend met stramins bezig was, noemden mijn vrienden mij al heel gauw Mr. Gritnik. En toen is deze letter, nadat die postzegel verschenen was, onder handen genomen door David Quay van de Foundry in Londen. En die heeft hem uitgewerkt tot de hele serie. In 68. It showed the grid that I used for the catalogs of the Stedelijk Museum. I made these catalogs for 20 years. And all the catalogs are based on the same grid. 1,5 jaar geleden een tentoonstelling in Japan gehad. En die hebben we toen een naam gegeven. Fascinated by the Great.
Die komt in september in het Stedelijk Museum.
Ah,
So this gives a small introduction to my work.
ik moet er één ding bij zeggen. U heeft veel meer ervaring in het krijgen van prijzen dan ik in het uitreiken ervan. Dus voor mij is het eigenlijk ook nieuw. Ja, u krijgt me natuurlijk vanwege uw enorme prestaties op het gebied van lettertype, ontwerpen en typografie. En ja, het is natuurlijk een enorme eer u om deze prijs te overhandigen. Dit is de voorkant. Ik moet hem ook even naar de camera draaien, denk ik. En ik moet hem ook nog omdraaien. Dat is me gevraagd door de TDC.
Ik ben er zeer vereerd mee. Absoluut onverwacht. Fantastisch.
Van harte gefeliciteerd.
Zeer bedankt voor deze overhandiging. Op de dag zelf het willen overbrengen. Dat ik er zeer vereerd mee ben. En dat het volkomen onverwacht was. Nou ben ik binnengekregen in de hemel van de typeontwerpers.
Ja, het is een geweldige lijst natuurlijk. We beginnen met Herman Sap,
Fantastisch.
Matthew Carter, met natuurlijk Gerard Lunger,
Ja.
Gerrit Noordzij.
Waarin u zelf.
Heel erg bedankt. Heel erg bedankt.
Bedankt voor al het mooie werk wat u gemaakt heeft.
So, looking ahead to next year's competition, just want to let you know that work is already underway with Type Design Competition Chair Juan Villanueva and his panel of judges that he's chosen from these foundries. And Communication Design Competition this year, co-chairs Liz DeLuna and Douglas Riccardi, who have chosen this group of judges. And the identity and the book will be designed by the studio Anagrama in Mexico. And the deadline for that is Friday, December 13th. We hope you and your students will submit your work so we can be honoring you this time next year. So thank you and good night. Thank you for coming. Let's go get a drink.